Thomas Paine, Thomas Paine, Thomas Paine, Sam Adams, Sam Adams, Sam Adams, Benjamin Franklin, Benjamin Franklin, Benjamin Franklin. These men spoke up for what they thought was right. From their courage came such documents as the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States. From their willingness to speak what was sometimes unpopular but right, we enjoy such liberties as freedom of speech, the right to keep and bear arms, and freedom of religion. There are those who still wish to oppress our freedoms, and there are still patriots willing to stand up and defend life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Men like Zeb Bell, who honor our founding fathers and what they stood for. It's now time for Zeb at the ranch, speaking up and defending your freedoms. Brought to you by Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers and all of the other great advertisers on the program. And now, Zeb Bell.
Ladies and gentlemen, life is not a fairy tale. If you lost your shoe at midnight, you're drunk. Morning, everybody. Here comes Kate Smith. And God bless America, followed by a patriot to call in with our Pledge of Allegiance. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And a good morning to you and yours. Zeb at the Ranch, I'm Zeb Bell on this Thursday, August 8th already. My goodness sakes, brought to you by our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. All 7 locations serving you with the best of safe driving tires. Don't forget, too, some of our great advertisers like Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley, helping you get back to being you. And Greystone Crossing Independent Senior Living at 1221 21st Street in Hayburn. Seniors living the good life with friends. Right now, let's go to the phone line and have our Pledge of Allegiance. Good morning.
Well, good morning again, sir.
Yes, sir.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Attaboy, Wheels. Right now, let's go to the weather forecast. And let's see, K&R Rental. My goodness, Roger, good morning over there. Open the door at 7 o'clock at 256 South, 600 west of Hayburn, right there on the Burley-Paul Highway. And they offer all the rental tools and equipment you need for both long and short term. And they've got everything from excavators to tractors to mowers, you name it. It's all there for you to finish any kind of a job at K&R Rental. Don't forget, on the Burley-Paul Highway, that number, 678-3122. And right now, here, Scotty with the weather.
Well, good morning. With your Zeb at the Ranch weather forecast, I'm Scotty Cameron. For today, we're going to have a chance of thunderstorms, highs around 84. Now, that chance of thunderstorms is going to put us in a red flag warning, so keep your eye out for fires. If you see a puff of smoke, let the authorities know. For tonight, chance of thunderstorms, lows around 54. Then for tomorrow, clouds will be clearing off, looking for sunshine and a high of 86. Maybe a small chance of thunderstorms coming in Friday night with a low of 54. Sunny for Saturday, a high of 86. Sunday, sunny, a high of 78. Going to be just a bit cooler. And then as we get back to work on Monday, sunshine and a high of 80. That's your Zeb at the Ranch weather forecast. I'm Scotty Cameron. Have a great day.
Oh, job well done, my friend. Scotty, good job. Thank you so much. And the weather brought to you by K&R Rental at 256 South, 600 West. You heard that. I know you did. West. I said West. I'm laughing at myself. I haven't woke up yet. Of Hayburn on the Burley-Paul Highway, 678-3122, K&R Rental, Weth. Okay, I got to remember that one. Good morning, and thank you for tuning in. And right now, let's see what else have we got cooking here. I want to remind you, we've got a great program this morning. We've got all kinds of goodies, the Chamber Report, Burley Physical Therapy. Stay tuned. Lots of good people. And right now, Merv May, come on in here. We're going to sell some cattle.
All right.
right, hey, good set of steer calves there, here to get $1.31, $1.30.
Oh, my goodness sakes, you better believe it. The sale that works for you. And that's, of course, Burley Livestock Sale Yard, 1100 Occidental Avenue in Burley. Number to call, 678-9411 with your cattle consignments and information on the sale. Merv, May, Cade, Rogge, and Lance Udy. Again, I stress, this is the sale that works for you. Give them a call, 678-9411. I can tell you a partial list of what's going through the ring this morning. We're going to have about 99 mixed yearlings coming in from West Goff over to Rupert. By the way, Rosa, if you're listening this morning, God bless you, my dear friend, and hope you're doing well. That's Wes's mom. And then also Harlan Jabauer over here at Murtaugh bringing in 20 head of yearlings. And we're going to have a lot of butcher cows coming in from Antelope Hills Dairy and Acme Dairy. 11 o'clock starting time today. 11 o'clock at Burley Livestock. Reminder, next week is Cassia County Fair Week. There will not be a sale next week at the Burley Livestock Sale Yard. Don't forget that. And there you have it. Merv, come on in here and sell those steers.
All right, hey, good set of steer calves there, here to get $1.31, $1.30, $1.32, $2.5, $3.5, $1.34, $4.5, $5.5, $1.30, $5.50, $1.35, $7, $1.35. Zeb Bell gets bottom again.
I'll tell you what, I like that price. It's still a pretty good price. We are going to be talking later on this morning to Cassia County School Days, Debbie Critchfield, and then at 10:30, Dr. Bruce Hartman, about how in the world we're going to finally clean up maybe some of the verbiage that's going on in this political maelstrom that's going on. My goodness. I want to remind you about Ramsey Heating and Electric at 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley. And it's not bragging, it's a fact. They have all your heating, cooling, and electrical needs. I urge you to stop in. You can stop in 7:30 to 5 Monday through Friday. And believe me, give them a call, too, if you want it all ready for you on the counter, 678-0459. They've been in business over 6 decades. Wow. That's pretty impressive. Ramsey Heating and Electric, 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley. Caller, thank you. You're on the air.
Good morning, sir. Before you get into some other subject, I haven't heard it mentioned in quite a while, but us old people need to be looking out for these Social Security scams. I have gotten, I don't know how many calls in the last 2 weeks from people that's supposedly representing SSA, and SSA absolutely will not call you unless you have called them and requested something.
You know, just yesterday, my dear friend.
Going. I just thought it was worth mentioning.
It is, and stay on the line with a minute. And caller number 2, stay there. Just yesterday afternoon, I had the call that you are referring to about how there's some kind of a problem and there's been somebody that's tapping into my SSI money and that type of thing. Please call us. Stay away from those robocalls. Stay away from anything. If you have any questions, contact the local Social Security office, and please do not respond to these idiots on the telephone.
That's a big 10-4. I had talked to a person I know that's involved with health and welfare, and she said, well, no, said Social Security won't call you. And so I've just kind of been ignoring them, and I got 5 yesterday in a matter of 30 minutes or less, and so I thought, well, I'm just going to call. So they have a number you can call in on, and anyway, I called in and talked to a gentleman, and he says, anyone that calls you representing SSI or SSA, he says, they are phony. And he says, just put the word out in your community that, ignore them, don't even answer them. And I'm to the point now, if I don't recognize the number on my cell phone, I'm just not going to answer it.
You know, God bless you, and I mean it. You used to call in quite a bit, and it's been a while, but I thank you because the information you gave is absolutely essential. Like I said, I just had my first one of those yesterday, but thank you for bringing that up this morning. Very much obliged. Thank you much.
Well, thank you for all you do, sir, and may God bless, and we'll go from there.
All right, buddy. Thanks an awful lot. Nice man right there. Caller number 2, I'll be right with you. Stand by. Don't forget Denny's Restaurant. Oh, when you get those hunger pains, oh, my goodness, and you've got a craving for maybe a salad, or maybe you've got a craving for a delicious breakfast, or maybe you've got a craving for an omelet. Oh, it's all there at America's Diner, and that's Denny's Restaurant, 611 North Overland in Burley. And the other location at 291 Pole Line Road in Twin Falls. And believe me, the menu choices are phenomenal, delicious, and the people really, really nice. Always at Denny's Restaurant, America's Diner, 611 North Overland in Burley, and they're the home of Zeb's Lunch Bunch. Caller number 2, good morning, you're on the air.
Keith hung up, sir, but hopefully he'll call back in.
Okay. Well, couldn't he wait just a minute? My goodness. Calls welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. I've got a lot of stories I want to get into this morning, but I just also want to let you know that every day on this program, I'm going to be hammering, and I mean that, at Idaho Power, because they refuse to answer questions and come on my program. And another one of the questions I've got for Idaho Power, if they were on the air and if they were amenable to answering questions that really would help the situation and help their ratepayers, how much more land are you going to take or purchase for the, let's just say, the use of beautiful Idaho? Solar panel farms, more disgusting wind turbine farms, where, how many? That's a fair question, but as we know, Idaho Power won't answer any of these questions. They're an entity that absolutely thinks they're above the fray. That's sad, and it's also cowardly. Your Idaho Power. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Zeb. You know, it was 2015 when Trump came down the escalator, and he made all these promises that he was going to try to do for us. And by golly, he has done as many of them as he could. So why would we want to change horses in the middle of the race?
Okay, Keith, I am a little bit worried. I voiced this yesterday to some people I was talking to, and bear with me on this. But with the negativity of the media and kind of a pile-on attitude, everybody jumping on top of Trump no matter what he says, no matter what he does, there is a pile-on attitude from all the leftist, absolutely kooky media. I'm not so sure. I'm not as confident today as I was 30 days ago about the re-election of Donald Trump. As a matter of fact, I'm worried that our whole nation is in an upheaval of common sense, and the evil of the Democrats is becoming more prominent. Your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are the thing that's in our favor is that there isn't a single candidate on the left that's worth having. So people will be able to see that when it comes to light, I think.
I hope. I don't hope. I'm praying. I am praying about this situation. You bring up a really good point, and every minute that has gone on since these horrendous tragedy shootings, the way the left is piling on and using that absolute terrible circumstance to their so-called advantage, Keith, I find that just evil.
I think it is so wrong. You know, being a businessman myself at one time, you know, you have to be so careful because you're going to lose customers. Yes, and you do sometimes. But by golly, this deal in Texas where this guy has targeted the donors for Trump's campaign,
yeah,
that's just wrong.
Oh, there's so much of that is so sick and perverted. And the the Castro brothers, Joaquin and Julian, they are great examples of evil in this country. Keith, God bless you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You bet.
All right, sir. Don't forget Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation. Boy, I was in there yesterday. I missed about 2 weeks in a row, and I shouldn't have. Believe me. I went in there yesterday, and boy, we got things started again. They are really, really good at what they do. Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley. Help you with your aching and paining, help you with your recouping, and help you with getting over injuries or surgeries. I urge you to get a hold of Nick Greenwell and his staff today. 678-1191. Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation, 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley. Also, real quick, I want to remind you, excuse me, about Ark Animal Hospital. And, of course, Ark Animal Hospital, mixed animal practice, and they have been voted best veterinary hospital numerous times in the Mini-Cassia area. They're located at 750 21st Street near Connection Credit Union in Heyburn. And, you got to watch your animals. You just got to get out and observe, sit and look. Take 5 minutes and just watch them. Whether you got little itty-bitty kitty cats or you got a herd of dairy cattle or horses, whatever, watch for any signs that need to be taken care of, and they're there to serve you. Ark Animal Hospital in Heyburn. The number to call is 678-1177, where they have warm hearts for cold noses. I absolutely can't believe Keith brought up a very good point a minute ago. And what is going on with these Castro brothers down in Texas is pathetic. The way that Joaquin Castro basically outed people and businesses that were Trump supporters and basically put a target on their back, especially in the dangerous climate that's in America today. I find these people disgusting. I think it's going to be a real help, I think, in throwing Julian Castro out of the presidential race for the Democratic nomination. I can only hope. And I think it's going to be very denigrating to both of them as far as any future political careers. I hope it is. I hope they're applying for jobs as dog catchers. And some of the things that I read about the people and their responses to having President Trump in their areas yesterday, both in Ohio and Texas, far, far different from what some of the news media tried to portray. They don't want him here. They don't like him. They find him disgusting and despicable. Why, he's hateful and he's a racist. Whoa, stop the bus for a minute. Here's a lady that said, I'm a naturalized citizen. I love the United States of America. I think our president is doing an amazing job. He's not a racist. I'm not a racist. And for them to be totally trying to brainwash people, I think it's just garbage. I think it's going to backfire on them. You didn't hear that on CNN or ABC or MSNBC. Here's another one. She said, it's upside down. It's like they've gone off the deep end. She's referring to the Democrats. Because a lot of my Democratic friends are not quite walking away yet, but they are so turned off by what's going on. I don't think they're going to vote. I don't think they'll vote for Trump, but they're not going to vote for the Democrats either. She's talking about her Democratic friends. They're so turned off by what's going on. This is some of the comments, and you heard them during the news, calling Donald Trump, our president, hateful and racist, all this rhetoric. And here's another comment that was given yesterday. The sister of a couple who were killed in the El Paso shooting said it's the Democratic politicians who refuse to welcome President Trump to the city who are unwelcome. Vibra Anchando described the Democrats as pure evil on Facebook, and she said, it's such a shame that two of our local politicians, and she said, I refuse to say their names as they don't deserve it, are saying that our president is not welcome on Wednesday. This was written on Tuesday. I cannot believe how these monsters are using this tragic event to push their political agenda. But you don't hear those comments. You don't read those comments in the newspaper, especially our local rag, because there are good people that are speaking out and saying what really is going on. What really is going on. Calls are welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Oh, appreciate your calls. Don't forget Rain for Rent with Jake Spalding. Hello, Jake. I almost pulled my headsets off. I got it caught on the microphone. Hello, Jake, over there, the Reiki Diamond dealer at Rain for Rent. They're located at 134 South, 600 West of Paul. My, the number to call and get the information you need on the irrigation parts and service that you need, 438-5065. I'll repeat that number, 438-5065. Yep, Rain for Rent with a very, very dedicated sales and service staff to help you. They will, and they can, make sure that your irrigation season is successful. Rain for Rent, 438-5065. Calls are welcome and appreciated, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. One thing that I have got to talk about this morning, because this is kind of taking your fingernails and scraping the bottom of a barrel and getting nothing but pond scum and slime. This is what I think of the Democratic Party. Pond scum and slime. Now, little Jerry Nadler, a man suffering from SMS disease, which means small man syndrome, they are going after Judge Brett Kavanaugh again. I don't know if you heard this on the news, but I am so frustrated with the absolute stupidity that is being shown by the Democrats in this country. Somebody said that their party is going to really go topsy-turvy and fragment, and I hope it does. Now they're going after Judge Kavanaugh again, and they're making requests to further scrutinize some of the things that they think he may have done or said wrong. They are asking for records relating to Kavanaugh's tenure in both posts when he served President Bush, etc., and was previously not a Supreme Court justice. And they're asking for a complete release of records. And this is bordering on complete harassment. What are your thoughts? I mean, this man sat in a chair and was in tears, answering stupid, frivolous, very, very, let's say the questions were teetering on being a late-night TV show for their quality. And his children and his wife and everybody sitting right there, and they're in tears because of the destruction that the Democrats wanted against a Supreme Court nominee, Brett Kavanaugh. He passed. He's in. He's on the Supreme Court. And they won't let the bone go. These are hungry dogs. Dogs that are still after him. And Republican Georgia Representative Doug Collins said it best. Chairman Nadler's request is so far outside the scope of judicial ethics, it's nothing more than harassment. What are your thoughts on this? We saw the devastation of a family, the devastation of a man before that hearing. The Democrats were out there with steak knives and machetes trying to carve him up. And he was voted to be on the Supreme Court. But they won't let it go. No, not these rabid dogs of the Democratic Party. Now they want more information. Now they want to see if they can't build a case again and throw him, Judge Kavanaugh, off the Supreme Court. Please call me and let me know what you think about this. This is unreal. 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Wow. And then they say that, oh, well, they'll just go away. I don't think so. Some of the great businesses that want you to attend the Cassia County Fair and Rodeo include our friends at the Minnecasia Chamber of Commerce. Oh, my. They invite you to grow with them. Be a part of a booming economy right here in southern Idaho in the Minnecasia Chamber of Commerce, providing you as a business more visibility, more credibility, and the resources to help you succeed. Thank you, Minnecasia Chamber of Commerce. Mountain Transmissions, 1146 East Main in Burley with old Rick. I'll tell you, and his staff, free towing, free diagnostic, free estimates on your transmissions that may be a little sick. They can make them better over there at Mountain Transmissions, 1146 East Main in Burley. And Butte Irrigation, 116 South, 600 west of Highway 27 South in Paul. That's a mouthful. Or their other location on Kimberly Road at Red Cap Corner. Don't forget, they will get you wet. Butte Irrigation, time to check with them for all your irrigation needs. Caller, good morning. You're on the air. No, my goodness, they're backing up again. If callers, don't hang up like that, because I'll be with you as soon as I can. Caller, I'm going to ask you the same thing. Have patience with me. I've also got to tell everybody this Saturday, coming up August 10th, the great, and it is, Tracy Bird concert, sponsored by Goody Motors in the Idaho Central Credit Union Arena at the Cassia County Fair. What a way to kick off with a great concert, Tracy Bird. And then on Sunday, August 11th, the Monster Truck Insanity. Oh my goodness, 2 days to kick off the Cassia County Fair all next week. CassiaCountyFair.com. Check it out on the website and be there at your Cassia County Fair. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning again. I am on the air, aren't I?
Well, yeah, go ahead.
Okay. The Republicans and the Democrats, let's look at it like it were a football game. And the Republicans are trying to play by the rules and to do things that are right. And the Democrats are saying, we want to win at all costs. If we have to kill somebody along the way, so be it. We've got to win. We've got to win. We've got to win. That's the attitude.
Well, don't add the verbiage that is not there. They've never said if we have to kill someone along the way. I mean, I deal only in facts, Keith, and I'm not going to allow a statement that is a conjured up and made up statement. They've never said that.
No, they never said it, but it's certainly on their mind.
Well, you don't know that speculation, and I'm not picking at you, but I am telling you that I only deal in facts, and I only deal in statements that are quotables. And that's not a quotable statement because we don't know what goes on in their minds. And sometimes the way they act, I don't think anybody humanly possible could find out what goes on in their mind.
They don't have any rules. Every country in the world usually has some kind of rules of engagement. If you're going to go to war or whatever, these people have no rules. Anything goes.
Well, I find this story about Brett Kavanaugh one of the most sickest, one of the most perverted stories and intrusions into a man's life and his family and his career. We thought it was over. He thought it was over. Everybody thought it was over, but now the Democrats are tipping over rocks again.
Yeah, and the thing of it is, Nader, or whatever his name is, he's untouchable. Nobody can do anything to stop him. Why is that?
He's a little worm that has been given a lot of power. Keith, appreciate your comments. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. Have a great day. Thank you much.
You bet.
All right, caller number 2, you're on the air. Go ahead, please.
This is the Yummy Man with the menu for today. It's Philly cheesecake. Got Philly like Philadelphia. It's something new, but I understand it's very good. And the trimmings. Tomorrow, Friday, is lasagna and the trimmings. And for $5, you can get a takeout meal or come in between 12 and 1.
Okay. You aren't telling me what kind of yummy dessert they're having. That's what's made you famous.
That's because they don't tell me.
All right.
Choice.
What we're going to do is change things. I want you to slam your fist down on the table today, and I want you to say, I demand that every day you tell me what that yummy dessert is, because you're just telling you're losing your namesake.
You want me to get thrown out? I've been going there longer than anybody else. So I think I'll just take whatever they fix. It's always good.
Okay, Joe. God bless you, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Have a good day.
All right, sir. Senior Center on Overland and my dear friend Joe Taylor. Thank you very much. Calls are welcome and appreciated. 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. You know, how long, and I know I couldn't take it. No. I went through in 2007 the idiocy, incompetency, and the brainless twits of the Democratic Party here in the state of Idaho. When they started hanging the racist tag on me, I fought back. And how long could you take that? You know, every single day, no matter what you do, no matter where you go and who you talk to, President Trump is in a fishbowl. And every single thing right now seems to be fair game by the Democrats with absolutely gutter speech. They asked Robert Francis O'Rourke, which he likes to go by Beto, about President Trump coming to El Paso, and he says, I don't want him here. He's a racist. He's a white supremacist. Now, I would like somebody to stop right there and provide proof. If you're going to call somebody a name or make an allegation, provide proof. And then it even goes as far as Joe Biden. Joe Biden, I thought he had more common sense, but he doesn't. He came out and said, well, of course, Donald Trump's a white supremacist. Show me proof. Or shut up. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
You know, I don't know where this ends. I tell you what, and if we don't fight back, if there's, you know, again, it always comes down to what do people know, how well do they know it, and what are they willing to do to keep it? Are you willing to save America the way it is? Or do we end up like Western Europe, Venezuela? I mean, if we destroy the one thing, the one golden goose on this earth, there's nowhere else on earth that I can think of to go that's like America.
There isn't any.
Nowhere else. Go ahead.
No, I just said there isn't any. I agreed with you.
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt you.
No, you're fine.
I just don't know. We just keep thinking somebody else is going to clean up our mess, and they're not going to do it. I have to get up every morning and go like hell. I mean, I go from daylight till dark. Thank God, I'm blessed. I have so much business, I can't believe it. I live in the safest place on earth. This is the safest place on earth. The most logical, safest place on earth is probably southern Idaho. I tell you what, man. These insane people, they would do whatever they had to, and in the end, we'd all be starving to death and robbing from each other because they would take away all the trucks, the tractors. The farmers couldn't farm. You couldn't use fertilizer. You couldn't use spray. You couldn't do anything. You can't milk a cow. You kill all the cows. You can't have any, milk cows. You can't have beef cows. You can't have horses. You can't have... These people are psycho, and they ain't never going to change, and there ain't no way getting rid of them, and it's just, they're evil, and the devil, his minions are working overtime, and they don't even know what they're doing, but they just know they're going to be an antagonist.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's like you come into a situation and you see that people are working and productive and industrious, and these people are just sticking rods into the gears of everything. Just that's all they want to do. And they call you every filthy name in the book, and you can't touch them, or you'll be run in jail. Not Comey, not Hillary, not Bill, not Epstein, not these people that have done unspeakable crime. I get pulled over if I don't pay my ticket in 30 days. They're going to come and get me.
You know, Randy, everything you said, it was said with true, honest emotion, and I'm on your side, man. I agree with you. This is an evil time that we're living in. God bless you for your call, my friend. Thank you.
Well, yes, and we've just like Idaho Power. They're trying to ride out the clock, Deb. They're hoping you give up. And I don't know who's called Idaho Power in Boise, but if you haven't done it, you need to do it.
I need help fighting these people.
Somebody else, it's not you.
That's right. I need help fighting these people, and I appreciate you bringing that up. Idaho Power is acting like a smug, arrogant, punk board of directors right now, and they won't answer questions, and they need to be assailed for that, and I'm going to keep on doing it. Randy, thank you very much. I got a call coming in. Thank you. Caller number 2, you're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, good morning, Deb. How are you?
I am good. Thank you, Adrian.
Okay, I didn't know if I was on the air or not.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you are. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, what's going on is Saul Alinsky's rules for radicals.
That's right.
You see, they divide black versus white. They're doing everything they can. Saul Alinsky's rules for radicals was basically for transforming our constitutional republic to a socialist, communist country. And they are succeeding because we are not vigilant in standing up to them, and they demonize anybody that opposes them.
Yep.
And we've seen that. And then they tell half-truths, lies, only give you half the information. They're not telling us anything about the fact that the Dayton shooter was a leftist, an atheist, and follows Elizabeth Warren. We're not hearing that on the mainstream media, only on the alternative media. And so they're only giving us half the information, anything that'll further their cause. Of course, Obama, quoted Alinsky often, and Hillary did her thesis work on Alinsky. So it tells you what's going on. But, I hear so much, well, these are the last days, we know evil's going to prevail, so we better just let it happen and enjoy life while we can. God doesn't say we throw in the towel. We fight, and we use the truth to fight back.
Well, hold on a second. Wait a minute, Adrian. Come on, let me jump in and have a conversation with you. What you just said is it's worth really going into for a few minutes. There are a lot of good people out there listening to this program right now. But there are also a lot of people that are too lazy to really stand up and be self-responsible to help promote what is good in this country and to fight evil. And that's what I'm trying to do every day on this program, is to try to get these people stirred up enough to realize that evil is becoming more prominent every day, and we got to fight it and smack it right in the face.
Yeah, and the way we do that is to become educated. I can guarantee you that the New American magazine and www.thenewamerican.com will help educate you on these current issues. I get 5 articles a day on the internet, and I can guarantee you they're covering current events from a conservative constitutional viewpoint. But you're not getting that on the mainstream media.
That's right.
And it's just important that we make those phone calls to our congressmen and senators. I just called them yesterday again about this trade agreement, which is so bad, this USMCA, And if we don't stand up against this thing, we're going to give away our sovereignty. I don't think Trump has a clue what's in that thing.
Well, I tell you what, right there, we're changing subjects. We're changing subjects, and it's a good time for me to say thank you for calling in, because I got to do the weather, Adrian. Give me a little break on time here, but I always appreciate your call. Thank you, sir. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. Caller number 2, I know you're there. I know you've been patient, but please hang on for just another minute. I promise I'll be right there. Weather brought to you by Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids. And, of course, they're located right behind the Minidoka Hospital, across from the emergency room. And I urge you, I do because I've been there, they help me. I urge you to call them for anything that you notice going on that's deteriorating your hearing. They are good. Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids, 312-0957. Scotty's filling in. Here's the weather.
Well, good morning. With your Zeb at the Ranch weather forecast, I'm Scotty Cameron. For today, we're going to have a chance of thunderstorms, highs around 84. Now, that chance of thunderstorms is going to put us in a red flag warning, so keep your eye out for fires. If you see a puff of smoke, let the authorities know. For tonight, chance of thunderstorms, lows around 54. Then for tomorrow, clouds will be clearing off, looking for sunshine and a high of 86. Maybe a small chance of thunderstorms coming in Friday night with a low of 54. Sunny for Saturday, a high of 86. Sunday, sunny, a high of 78. Going to be just a bit cooler. And then as we get back to work on Monday, sunshine and a high of 80. That's your Zeb at the Ranch weather forecast. I'm Scotty Cameron. Have a great day.
Oh, my goodness. 3 great doctors of audiology, Christine Pickup, Courtney Mitchell, and Shane Hunsaker, serving you and your hearing needs at Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids. Call for that appointment, 312-0957. Caller, you have been more than patient. Thank you so much.
Okay, I actually have been called back because I knew you were going to talk to Adrian for a while. I thought, I'll wait and call him in a minute. 2 quick comments. One is about Idaho Power. The day is going to come when we're not going to need Idaho Power. And they don't see that yet, but it's on the horizon now. There's hydrogen fuel cells for homes that are now becoming available that will completely disconnect us from the grid. And there's a gentleman by the name of Steve, I forgot his last name. Anyway, he runs a place called the Hydrogen Fuel Cell House back in New Jersey. And he runs his lawnmower, his home, even his motorcycle off of hydrogen fuel cells. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, as far as the racist call that they're saying against Trump, are you there, Deb?
I am. I'm listening because you're saying some very important things.
Right, and so on the racist call about Trump, I need to proceed what I'm going to say by letting you know I'm Hispanic. Now, I probably don't sound Hispanic to you, but I am. I'm second generation from Mexico, born in the United States. And I hold a lot of the same beliefs and opinions that Trump does. But I don't get near the criticism that he gets. And I believe because the other side is racist. If he was black or Hispanic like I am, I don't think he would get near the condemnation that he gets. Now, do you feel I'm right on that?
No, I think you're spot on, but I want to ask you some questions before I run out of time. I really appreciate your call, and I'll tell you why. Because you're opening up another chapter of a book that has not yet been touched by the liberals and the Democrats, and that's the book of fairness. They only want to attack Trump because he is white, he's Caucasian, from a white background, if you will, and they're going after him and just asserting the racist and the white supremacist tag on him, and I find this to be appalling. I'm Caucasian. I want to throw this at you. I'm Caucasian. I'm white, and I believe and I love this country, like I've said many times on the air, more than any other country in the world. I love that red, white, and blue. I love our Pledge of Allegiance and our national anthem. But the Democrats have twisted it like they have with Donald Trump to where if I'm a white nationalist, I am evil. You are of Mexican descent. And I can tell by your voice that you love this great country of the United States. So I guess basically you could be a darker toned skin or brown skinned nationalist and nobody will say a word.
I get some pushback, but not near what Trump gets. Not anywhere even close. And I know that if I was white, I'd be hearing a lot more from people. But because a lot of the posts I do online are under a Hispanic moniker. I don't get near the criticism. I do get some, but not near what he gets. And I just think it's unfair. You and I hold pretty much the same opinion. 98% of the stuff I agree with you on. But yet I know you get a lot more criticism than I do. And it isn't fair. They're just targeting Caucasians because they are Caucasian. And it's this idea of white privilege. And this kind of comes from slavery, the slavery issue.
Mm-hmm.
That all the white people in the United States owe a debt because of slavery. And I disagree with that totally. The only exception I would make that today is if there are any slaves alive today, they certainly deserve to be compensated. But otherwise, we shouldn't be guilty for the sins of our forefathers.
You know, let me throw this.
That we are guilty because supposedly you and other Caucasians have benefited from slavery.
Yeah. Let me throw this at you real quick before I run out of time. I've only got a minute and a half left here. But to not honor the laws and the regulations that this country stands for and our Constitution. We have a Constitution and laws that say about our borders, about our security, about legal immigration, and to disavow those and call people that are standing up for our Constitution and our laws bigots and hate mongers and white supremacists. This is totally reversed, and it's evil what the Democrats are doing. Would you agree with that?
I agree with that. I believe that it's going to shoot them in the foot. I just can't see America voting any of those Democrats into office. There's nobody on there that would even think about voting for, and I can't imagine America's going to do that either.
You know, I hope you call in more often because, man, I appreciate your viewpoint and your honesty and your integrity. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you. Bye. I hope he does call back. I really appreciate his remarks. Want to remind you about Barry Equipment and Rental, sales, service, and parts. Oh, you need equipment for all the lifting and the digging and the pushing and the carrying. Well, they've got them all. From the Doosan wheel loaders and excavators all the way to all the different Bobcats. They've got great financing programs. They've got great rental rates. I'm telling you, all you've got to do to find out more is get a hold of Barry Equipment and Rental with office locations at 159 West Highway 30 in Burley, 465 Addison Avenue West in Twin Falls, and the Nampa location. They are there to serve you, and serve you they do. Barry Equipment and Rental. You get a hold of them today. I really appreciated that call. I welcome all your calls. I'm going to say this before we wrap up this hour, and I've got one more commercial to get in. You may not agree with me on this. I don't care. This is my philosophy and my feeling. I think right now one of the biggest healing factors that we need in this country is for all of us to get back to the basics of church, family, and right and wrong. And those that wrinkle their nose at what I just said, I pity you. We are in trouble in this country. And we're on a very evil path to anarchism. Believe me, that's the honest truth. We were stronger in the past. We had better values in the past. Our families were stronger and much more meaningful in the past. And we had a much better morality as a country in the past. And I believe that going to church was a big reason. And being committed to families was a big reason. And knowing the difference between right and wrong was a good, big reason. And when I say at the end of my program, the way things were, the way things ought to be, I mean it. Because we're letting evil take over our community and our country. I want to say a big thank you to our Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. They've ridden the horse with me for a long time on this program. God bless them, and I appreciate them. With all the safe driving tires right there at any one of the 7 locations of your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, along with the best in tires, all sizes, all the tread designs, everything for all your vehicles. The best in brake service, front end alignment, shocks and struts, and batteries. And you go in there, and boy, I mean, they come out to your vehicle at a high lope saying, "May we help you?" And yes, they do. I urge you to stop in and see them today. Lane and Rupert, Dave on Blue Lakes and Twin, Mike and Buell, Mike and Jerome, the Twist family in Paul, Daniel on Poline in Twin Falls, and Trent on Overland in Burley. They are the best. That's not brag, that's a fact. Your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. What have we got coming up next hour? Penny Main's going to be on the program with us, giving us the Chamber of Commerce report. And then at 9:17, we got a really, really nice interview with another one of the great people over at Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation. And then at 9:30, my dear friend Rita Ramsey. I love Rita, and she's going to be on the program at 9:30. We got a lot of things to do today, and I'm glad you're a part of it. Zeb at the Ranch, and we'll be back after the CBS News. Wheels take it away. Oh, here we go. Kind of looks a little gnarly outside, as the kids used to say. Yeah, looks like we might get some rain. Hey, Zeb at the Ranch, I'm Zeb Bell. Welcome to the program with our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations serving you with the best of safe driving tires. Stop in, see them today. And also some of our great advertisers, including Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley, helping you get back to being you. And also Greystone Crossing Independent Senior Living at 1221 21st Street in Hayburn. Seniors living the good life with friends. Want to also remind you, when I talk about friends, I want to talk about my good friend and his family and his staff, Joel Heward, over at Hanson Mortuary, 710 6th Street in Rupert, and they are always there to serve you and your family with the best possible support and comfort when there's the passing of a loved one, and always with the highest ethical standards and unquestioned integrity. I urge you to call and find out more about the pre-planning of funerals at 436-5636. That number again, 436-5636. Hanson Mortuary in Rupert. And Joel Heward also serving you and your family at Morrison Payne Funeral Home on East Main in Burley. Holy moly, there's going to be a lot of fun coming up this next week at the Cache County Fair and Rodeo, and some of the merchants that invite you to come and be a part of the great big Cache County Fair include Burley Veterinary Hospital at 2869 Overland in Burley. Oh my, wonderful staff, great doctors, and they take care of your animals, both large and small. Burley Veterinary Hospital. Also, our thanks go out to Golden Valley Warehouse. I'll guarantee you quality seed from Golden Valley Warehouse. Barley, wheat, triticale, oats, alfalfa, you name it, they've got it. And a great, great staff. Be sure and remember, Golden Valley Warehouse, 468 West, 1000 South of Burley, and the number 678-7324. And last but not least, Mountain Transmissions at 1146 East Main in Burley with Rick and the crew. I'm telling you, you notice your old transmission's kind of slipping and sliding and not doing the job. Well, call them. Get a hold of them at Mountain Transmissions for a free towing, free diagnostic, free estimate. Mountain Transmissions, 1146 East Main in Burley. And real quick, do not forget, Saturday night, oh my, hold on to your Resistol, dust off your Tony Lamas. Saturday night, August 10th, this coming Saturday at 8 o'clock, the Tracy Bird Concert, sponsored by Goody Motors in the Idaho Central Credit Union Arena. Woo! Gonna be fun, you better believe it. And then on Sunday this weekend, the Monster Truck Insanity. All these things kicking off the Cache County Fair and Rodeo for 2019. It all goes into full swing next week. Check it out on their website, CacheCountyFair.com. Wow, I'm tired. And right now, with a list of things to talk about that resembles the preview page of Tolstoy's War and Peace. Here's Penny Main, President and CEO of the Minnetonka Chamber of Commerce.
Good morning. I don't know. It's just like it just keeps going and going and going, doesn't it? There's a lot going on. Hey, I do want to kind of let everybody know about our rodeo ticket giveaway. So it's kind of exploded on us, and it's awesome. So speaking of Tracy Bird and rodeo tickets, tomorrow morning we'll be choosing one lucky person who's gone to the Minnetonka Chamber of Commerce Facebook page, and we ask them to like, share, and comment, and somebody's going to get a pair of tickets to see Tracy Bird in concert Saturday night. So I know that's going to be a great show.
Absolutely. Okay, I tell you what, rather than me intercede and mess things up, I'm just going to let you go down the list in the short time that we have.
Okay, well, let's do it then. Again, aside from the Cassia County Fair and Rodeo coming up this next week, we invite everybody over. I want to remind everybody about our Business After Hours event. It will take place Thursday, August 22nd, from 4:30 to about 7 p.m. right here at the Hayburn Park. Going to be lots of fun, sponsored by Idaho Water Sports. This is an RSVP event. You're welcome to bring your families, but we need to know you're coming, so Idaho Water Sports can be prepared for you. Our next chamber luncheon is set for September 12th at McCain Foods. This is an RSVP event as well. The chamber members are going to have the opportunity to tour the McCain expansion and really see agriculture and technology truly at its finest. So we're looking forward to that. So mark your calendar for September 12th. A couple of other things real quick. So we're giving away those Tracy Bird tickets tomorrow. And starting Monday, we will have rodeo tickets to give away. We'll have a pair for Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday night. So we'll keep you posted on that. But if you go in and like our Facebook page right now, give you a chance to be prepared for that rodeo ticket giveaway come Monday.
Now, you're not done. You're not done, are you?
Well, you told me to go down the list. That's exactly what I did.
You know, when you're doing a show like this and you turn it over to the guest and all of a sudden they quit, you go, holy moly, what am I going to say next? Well, it sounds like you've really got a lot of things going on, but the number one thing about the Minnetonka Chamber of Commerce right now that you really want to put out and promote to people, you're there to help their business, promote it, and help grow it.
Yes, sir, and I think that's, you know, we've got a lot of moving parts here over at the chamber, but you know, we're primarily focused on business, of course, and on commerce, because that's what we're all about. So, you know, it's a great time as we see this entire area growing. It's a great time to become part of the Chamber of Commerce. It's easy to do. You can do that by simply giving us a call at 679-4793. You're welcome to check out our website, minnetonka-chamber.com, or as you know, we're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. One quick thing I do want to remind everybody about our friend George Moss. You know, he's the veteran, and he takes care of all the flags and those kinds of things. He dropped by a note here yesterday, and I told him I'd pitch it out there for him because I know he listens to you faithfully every day. So they're getting ready. They're preparing for what they're calling the annual Patriotic Show and Shine. This is the 4th annual. And the theme this year is called Standing for the Red, White, and Blue. You can bring your bikes, boats, cars, and there will be food, vendors, entertainment. Patriot Day will be the 13th, and the car show is Saturday the 14th, right there at the Rupert Square near the Wilson Theater. So you're going to want to check that out and be part of that because they're great people and they do so much for our communities here. And I just want to give George a little shout out this morning.
I appreciate that, Penny. Real quick, I did have a call last week, and the person that asked me was from out of the area, and they said they were coming back into the area at the end of August, and they were wondering if the gift shop was still available at the chamber.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Zeb. Yeah, I mean, we have a variety of items. You know, we keep a careful watch on our stock because we want to make sure we're buying items that, you know, are unique to Idaho. And so there is a variety of things here, everything from Idaho keychains to we have, you can get muffin mix and pancake mix made from potatoes, and you can get coffee mugs. There are all sorts of things here available. So we'd love them to just stop by, and generally speaking, if they want something specific, we can look into ordering it for them. But we've got a great selection of items here for sure.
Oh, my goodness, she is a busy lady right now. The president and CEO of Mini-Cassia Chamber of Commerce, Penny Main. Penny, thank you for everything you do and everything you did. Appreciate it. Talk to you next Thursday.
Thank you, friend. Bye-bye.
All righty. There you have it, your Mini-Cassia Chamber of Commerce report with Penny Main. Thank you very much. Before we go to our next guest, let me take a look at my list here. Oh, Zeb, you've got to tell everybody about getting outside and enjoying the great Idaho outdoors. What am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about Let's Ride. Oh, my. Have you been over to their showroom? Let me tell you, you walk in that showroom and the first thing you're going to say is, how'd they get all this in here? All the side-by-sides and the four-wheelers and the watercrafts and all the accessories. Whoa! I mean, it's all there for you to have fun outside. And along with that, they've got a super service department to make sure that if you ever do have any problems, they can keep you running. You better get over to Let's Ride today, 270 Highway 24 between Rupert and the World. They're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, Saturdays, 9 to 4. They are the best at what they do because, yes, sirree, this is where the fun is sold at Let's Ride. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, we are very, very honored to have another one of the great people over at Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation, and we're going to visit with those folks right now.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go over to Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley, and talk to another of the amazing staff members over there at Burley Physical Therapy that are helping you get back to being you. I'm talking to Holly Polson, and good morning, Holly. Nice to have you on the program.
Good morning. Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about Holly Polson. I mean, where you were born and raised, what you do, what your family is, and what you're doing now at Burley Physical Therapy.
Well, again, my name is Holly Polson. I'm newer to the area. I've only lived here for a couple of years. Well, I guess it will be 3 years in November. I did my rotation here when I was in school at ISU. With Nick here at Burley Physical Therapy, and when I moved back to the area, he said, we'd love to have you come join us. So I've worked on and off at BPT for about, 4 years, including my rotation. I've got great family. Most of my family's in Idaho Falls. That's where I was born and raised. I've got 3 wonderful kids and 1 adorable grandbaby that's 8 months old.
Have you ever seen or heard of a grandbaby that isn't adorable?
Nope.
Okay. Where did you get your degree from as far as learning this field for your future occupation?
I went back to school later in life, and I went to ISU in Pocatello. So that was quite a commute, driving from Burley to Pocatello every day for, 2 years since I've been here in Burley and finishing my degree, but well worth it.
I want to ask you, what is the motivation? I guess that's a good word. Motivation to get involved in this field, physical therapy. I mean, you have to be a special person to serve others to get involved.
I've been in the fitness industry for over 20 years. I've taught classes and been a personal trainer, and I just wanted to take it to the next level. So I went back to school after my kids were, older in years. I think my youngest was 15 when I went back to school, and I've loved it. I mean, I just ate it up. It's very, very hard as far as the training, the kinesiology and the pathology and all the classes that you have to take, but I love what I do, and I just ate up the schooling part of it.
Let me ask you this, Holly. You also, according to the bio, you do a lot of work at Parkview in their therapy department. What do you do for the seniors, and how is it different from what you do at Burley Physical Therapy?
Yeah, the seniors are so fun to work with. I really like the geriatric population. So for over there, it's more of a maintenance, more, I would say. You're keeping them healthy for as long as they're at that stay. Where at BPT, you're seeing a little bit more growth goals to get them functional living. At Parkview, some of the patients are there for, 6-8 weeks, and some are there long term. So it varies from patient to patient on what exactly you do with that patient.
Okay, now, is it hard to motivate the elderly and senior citizens? It seems like a lot of times people become sedentary, and if they have an accident or some kind of a physical handicap or disability, they go, oh, the heck with it, I'll just sit here and watch TV. Is it hard to motivate them?
At first, when you first walk in the door and they see who you are, and, they're like, oh, man. But once they get going, they really enjoy it. We do a lot of walking, a lot of minimal weightlifting. We do a lot of closed kinetic chain exercises on the bike, and once you get talking to them, they actually enjoy it. By the time you take them back to their rooms, it's almost like a pleasantry to get out and to socialize a little bit and be active at the same time.
What would you say to the senior citizens en masse, if you had a chance and a microphone, as far as the people that say, oh, well, I'm over 65, it's all over, I don't have to do anything, I'll just sit here. What would you say to them?
Definitely keep moving. No matter what, keep moving. Find a hobby that you love, whether it's gardening or walking or, riding a simple bicycle. I'm a big cyclist, so cycling is always a big thing for me. But just keep moving. If you can go out with your grandkids or your spouse, if they're still around, or anything to keep you active.
Okay. Now, you recently had a really bad injury, and tell us a little bit about that.
I was ice skating with a youth group in our area, and I slipped and fell and went straight down and shattered my patella, or my kneecap, into 5 pieces.
Ooh.
So, yeah, it really hurts, I'm not going to lie. But Dr. Crane was great to get me in the next day and do surgery. So I have 3 pins in my knee, and I'll be in a brace, a locking brace, so I have to keep it straight for 3 months. Lucky enough to do my rehab here at Burley Physical Therapy, and they've been fantastic.
Okay. Now, I'm going to put you on the spot. There you are, first personality in this little story.
Yeah.
You're the injured, and you're going, oh, woe is me, it hurts. How hard was it for you to get back into physical therapy?
Oh, well, I definitely have greater empathy for my patients. But they've been so great to kind of tailor to what I need, and I'm a pretty motivated person, so I want to push it more than I probably should, so they have to kind of pull the reins back a little and say, no, that's too much, too soon. So, but I definitely have greater empathy for my patients and what they're going through.
What did you learn from this experience that maybe, just as a physical therapist, you didn't know before the injury?
Boy, what did I learn? Well, I learned that flexing my knee is a lot more painful when you have an injured knee.
Right.
I push my patients to do that a little more, and it hurts. It hurts. There's no doubt about it. Physical therapy is not an easy thing, but it's so beneficial and so needed. And I'm a firm believer of movement rather than opioid addictions and using pain pills. Just keep moving.
Absolutely. Now, what is it about Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation that makes you want to stay there, work there, and be with those folks?
Definitely the people. We have a great staff here at BPT, and I love all the people that I work with. We gel really well together. And foremost, the patients. The patients are our lifeline. And it's so fun to see them and see them progress. And, eventually when they graduate is what we call it, when they're done with their physical therapy, and see how far they have come to get to that point.
Absolutely. Now, what about the hydrotherapy pool? I personally, a couple of years ago after my surgeries, used that hydrotherapy pool. Absolutely outstanding results. What are your thoughts?
Definitely. The hydrotherapy is such a game changer for, so many different patients. Whether they have instability, they're having trouble walking on flat surface, the pool, it takes the weight off of their joints. It's great for knee injuries or hip or back, or it really is, it unweights you, so it's about 80% less effort than if you're working on land.
Absolutely. Any final thoughts about physical therapy and serving the public through Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation?
Burley Physical Therapy is a great place to work. Come on over. If you even need a consult, Nick's great to work with you. And Josh, who is Nick's son, who's just graduating and just took his boards, actually, so he'll be a new PT working for us as well. Great staff, and let's get you back moving again and get you back to what you love.
Ladies and gentlemen, just another reason why Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation is absolutely committed to helping you getting back to being you. Holly Polson, thank you so much for being on the program. God bless.
Thank you.
I tell you what, she's just very indicative of the great people that work there and serve you at Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley. Number to call, 678-1191. They are helping you get back to being you. Holy moly, in just a few minutes we're going to have Rita Ramsey on the program, and I want to remind you right now about some friends of ours that are just waiting for that phone to ring so they can make an appointment with you to help you with your insurance, your health insurance, your retirement planning, your employee benefits. Who am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about Cameron and Siemens Insurance, Highway 24 in Rupert. My. The number to call, really easy number to remember. Go do it right now, 436-4424. That number again, 436-4424. They are dedicated and responsive to your needs. Cameron and Siemens Insurance, Highway 24 in Rupert. Really, really nice folks. Real quick, I've got some public service announcements I've got to get on here. Raffle tickets are available right now for a flat screen TV and a small chest freezer filled with meat. Whoa! Over at the Minidoka County Senior Center. Buy one ticket for $2, get 3 tickets for $5, and the number to call for more information, 436-9107. Then, I want to remind you about something coming up on August 25th. It's going to be the annual ice cream social at the Rupert United Methodist Church, 605 8th Street in Rupert. It's going to start at 5 p.m. Oh, my. Ice cream, all homemade ice cream and cakes and everything. It's going to be a lot of fun on August 25th at 5 p.m. And then September 7th, I want you to put this on the calendar. At 5 p.m., picnic in the park at the Minidoka County Senior Center on the lawn west of the center. Pulled pork, baked beans, potatoes, salads, fresh fruit. Ooh, just $10 a person. And there's only going to be 100 tickets sold, so you better call them at 436-9107 right now. 436-9107. Don't forget that. Now, I already have been asked when the August lunch bunch is going to be. So put it on your calendar. Our next lunch bunch is going to be August 22nd, Thursday, August 22nd at 11:30. Don't forget that at Denny's Restaurant, America's Diner. That's coming up on August 22nd. Okay, got that covered. Is there anything I forgot? Wheels, what's going on at the station? It is getting a little nasty looking outside. Any rain or thunder shower report coming into the station at all?
I haven't had anything hit my window yet over here, but I'm telling you, it does look kind of gray out there and nasty.
Okay, we've got
about the brew.
Well, let me know if you have anything. And right now, quickly, before I go to Rita Ramsey, I'm going to remind everybody about Dino's Septic Service. Oh, these are good people. Oh, they do a job that you and I don't want to do, but they do it with a big smile on their face. Fast, fair, friendly service from Dino's Septic Service. Septic tank pumping and liquid waste removal and sewer and sink drain lines cleaned. Oh, my goodness, backhoe service, mainline irrigation installation and repair, all of this and a lot more from Dino's Septic Service. You call them today at 436-6526 or 678-1638. With a big truck that says smells cargo on the way, Dino's Septic Service. Really good folks. There is a lady that comes on this program every Thursday, and she is very, very knowledgeable about what's happening in politics and world situations, and I am blessed to have her on the show every Thursday. Rita Ramsey, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Rita, I'm going to start off, and I don't mean to start off sounding so negative, but I really think it needs to be responded to in the fashion and manner that it's being occurring in this country right now. We are living, in my opinion, in very evil times. I mean, now, no matter who you are or what you stand up for, you could very possibly be demonized. You could have your job stature threatened. You could have your stature in the community threatened and possibly lowered. You could have danger as far as possibly physical assault. If somebody doesn't like you or what you represent or who you would like to support, evil right now might cast a spell over you and really be harmful. Would you agree with that?
Oh, you're absolutely right. And the biggest problem with that is that before, evil, you could kind of see it creeping around, and now it's just people sitting at their computers doing whatever they want, and they can type in things and nobody knows who it is or what, and they can say stuff whether it's true or not, and you don't get to respond or defend yourself or anything else. You just have to take it, and it's really sad.
You know, I want to get your opinion on this. And Rita, so far, everyone in this area that's called in agrees with me, and I want to hear what you have to say. We've talked about it a couple of weeks ago. I'm white. I'm a Caucasian. So are you. And I am a very proud nationalist under the meaning of Webster's dictionary of being proud of my country, love my country, a patriot. That's how I feel about the United States of America. But the Democrats have taken those two words, white nationalism or nationalist, they've twisted it now to be on the same plane as white supremacy and hate and bigotry. I am absolutely incensed with anger over this.
Well, everybody ought to be, and I had heard somebody last night on a late night show make the comparison, and I think it's really true. You know, they used to call it, you're a racist, and we have become kind of like, oh, here they go again, just spewing the racist word and not paying much attention to it. So now it's going to be, you're a white nationalist, and all of a sudden they start thinking, oh, a white supremacist, and he's, you know, this and that and the other, and he hates Jews, and he hates blacks, and he hates blah, 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 and he hates everybody, and so they just come up with a new word so they'll get attention again. So I don't know that they're really doing anything else other than just doing their way of trying to get more attention, and that's by using another type of word that is just an absolute nasty thing in the way most of us feel. And, you know, they can just shout it all they want. Nobody ever calls them out on it. Nobody calls out the media. You could go through and probably find literally dozens of places where the kind of the mainstream media has called Trump a Hitler and a Nazi and all kinds of stuff like that. Nobody ever calls them out on it.
Rita, I'm not going to change in what I say. I am a white man that is very, very proud to have been born and raised in this, the greatest country on the face of the earth, bar none. So I'm a proud white nationalist. But for the Democrats. And I just absolutely point to their party with complete disdain, because most of them are evil people, and saying that President Trump, well, we know that he's a racist. Well, we know that he's a white supremacist. They don't know one doggone thing like that, but they are denigrating the man, denigrating the office, and they're denigrating this country by their absolute stupidity.
Well, that's because they are so smart. I saw a thing a little bit earlier today on one of the websites, and it said that, Hollywood's making jokes about getting rid of all of the deplorables, and, let's have a contest where we do target shooting at them, and that kind of thing. Well, these people, they just think that they are so smart because they're in the spotlight. It doesn't matter whether it's the Colin Kaepernick type or the old fat guy, Michael Moore,
no.
and whoever it is, they just think that because they have a platform that they're so much better and so much smarter than just the regular people. Well, when it comes all down to it, you start dividing off all of those really smart people and important people and put the rest of us out there. We're carrying them, and the majority of us are us regular people.
Absolutely. We have a caller with a question or a comment. Quickly, caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yes, Deb, it's what's amazing to me is they'll sit and call you a white nationalist, and that's racist, and so on and so forth. And they claim to be all for all people, and they claim to love this country, and they're white, so are they not white nationalists? And in the long run, at the very end of the day, the people that they accuse or supposedly stand up for and defend, at the end of the day, we both know, and they know themselves, they'll turn on them just as quick as a dime. I'll let you go.
Absolutely. Rita, respond to what he just said, because there's a lot of truth in that.
No, I think he's absolutely right. They, like you said, they'll spew whatever, and then they probably need to look in the mirror and say, oh, yeah, that's you.
I don't know where this is headed, Rita. I am very, very tentative about thinking that we can solve this great big chasm that's been created in this country. Some of the emails and some of the calls that I've had right here in this area are very, very negative. I'm not going to weaken, and I'm not going to change my attitude. We have laws in this country. We have immigration laws in this country. We have a constitution for this country that has to be adhered to. And if we're going to be called bigots and white supremacists because we're adhering to the law, so be it.
Well, that's okay, because they can't prove that we've done anything that is wrong or against the law. And if they want us to be against the law, they're going to have to pass those laws. The one thing that I think where a lot of this leads to is, this event that happened over the weekend with these shootings, and how all of a sudden you've got, the Democrats that are running for office raising money over a tragedy like that.
Oh, my.
And their number one thing, and they won't tell you, I'm sure they sit in meetings all the time saying, how can we get to where we can, get rid of the Second Amendment or start to limiting, and then you have Republican people that jump on that too, and so I think that a lot of the other stuff is just rhetoric and a bunch of fodder for us to kind of look at and munch on while they're trying to do other things.
I just even hesitate to bring this next issue up because it just makes me even more the madder, if you will, and it's the incompetency and the lack of respect that the Democrats have for a man and his family that have been approved through a vote to go on to the Supreme Court and represent the Supreme Court, Brett Kavanaugh, Supreme Court judge, and now the Democrats, led by this absolutely worthless Jerry Nadler, are going to go back and try to get him again. Are you aware of this story?
Yes, I read that this morning, and it's really sad to think that they are so rabid, and they are. They've literally, they're rabid, just like a rabid animal. They're so mad that I really think that they're insane. They cannot reason. They cannot stop and think. They cannot say, well, you know what, there's no reason I'm going any further with this. If there was something there, it would have come out because there was tons of digging. There was lots of time. You know darn good and well, and so do I, that everybody that had anything to do with Kavanaugh being confirmed and was against it because it was one of Trump's appointments that he wanted confirmed, they would have found something if there was something, kind of like the Mueller investigation. If there was something, they would have found it because they were searching and digging and hunting and then making up stuff and everything. So it's really sad to think that they're on that bandwagon again, but it's because the other stuff that they're doing isn't working.
Yeah, but what they're doing, it's kind of like whack-a-mole. They're standing outside with a great big hammer, and they're just trying to keep beating things until all of a sudden something fragmentizes, and they pick it up and go, oh, we can make a case out of this. Let's go ahead and pursue it. And meanwhile, this man, an American family, husband, wife, daughters, they're right there on the brink again, where they've got to dig their heels in and fight back and try to re-innocent themselves, if you will, if that's even a word. But the Democrats have no passion, they have no compassion, and I'm fed up with their evil.
Well, it's really sad, and they got away with it with Bork, and you know who was at the front of that one, and that was our crazy Grandpa Joe, who's running for president now. He was one of the ones that was right at the front trying to destroy him, and it worked. And so they're thinking, well, if it worked once, we can just keep going, and we'll do this. We might be a little bit late, but maybe we can just make him just resign and say, I'm not going to put up with this crap anymore and just leave.
You know, you mentioned Joe Biden, and if people look at the Democratic so-called front-runners of the Democratic Party at the various two debates that have already occurred, Rita, please help me. I trust your opinion. I value your perceptions on things. You tell me anybody that has really stood out that you would want to be in the Oval Office if they're a Democrat.
No. I don't want any of them. I don't think any of them have they don't have the fortitude, they don't have the background, they don't have any kind of qualifications. I mean, most of them have been in government, which tells you they don't know how the real world works. They don't know anything about economics, they don't know anything about foreign policy, because all they do is sit on their hands and take money from special interest groups and lobbyists when they want something passed, and then they go and they do that. But they're not doing the people's work. They're just spewing all kinds of things. And when you start hearing this kind of stuff, like Beto O'Rourke and some of those guys that are just saying the most crazy things, you'd think that they would lay a little bit low and say, I don't want this to come back and bite me, so I'm just going to be really careful, and I'm not going to, to holler anything.
Well,
I would be one of few that didn't do that.
Yeah. Let me highlight him for a moment. I don't care if there's any Democrats in the audience that think the sun rises and sets on Beto O'Rourke, because I don't. I find him detestable. I find him to be pond scum. The way he denigrated the name of Jesus Christ, our Savior, and went on with a expletive-laced viewpoint of Donald Trump being a white racist. I have no use for this man, and I want to see him absolutely put out of any contention for the Democratic nomination.
Well, I think it's fair to say he's doing a pretty good job of that on his own. He doesn't have hardly any points in the big scheme of things, and he's lucky if he's even at 2%. But I think he's doing that on his own, and Americans are smart. They're not stupid people like everybody that's, like I said, has a microphone or anything to stand on. Americans are just hardworking people. We want to have a good country. We want to raise our families. We want to do the things that are good for our fellow men, and we don't pay attention to those idiots.
The point is, though, with all these so-called possible nominees, Pete Buttigieg, with his perverted lifestyle, many times gave illegal aliens identification cards. Cory Booker walking across the border and grabbing some illegal aliens by the hand and escorting them illegally into this country, and then California in its great volume of stupidity, creating now a Medicare for all, including illegal aliens that you and I are paying for. It kind of makes you sit back and wonder, holy smoke, somebody better stop this soon.
Well, you would think, and I'm just afraid that we're in it for now. Let's see, what are we, 14 months until the election? I just don't think it's going to stop. I think they're going to get crazier and crazier and desperate, and I think that we've just seen a small amount of it, and it's just going to be absolutely ridiculous. And there's people like Soros that have started other super PACs now, bigger ones and better ones, and everything they can do to try to defeat Donald Trump, and it's going to be who's got the most money. But in the end, each of us only has one vote.
Let me talk to you about one other subject this morning, and I'm going to do it right after the weather forecast, and that is gun control. I want to talk to you about that before we leave this morning. But quickly, our weather forecast is brought to you by Phillips Oaks Goodwin Crane and Company. We were down there yesterday and visited with Leiden, had him on the program too. Phillips Oaks Goodwin Crane and Company, providing accounting services to the Mini-Cash area for well over 50 years with the best of tax return preparation, tax planning, business consulting, retirement planning. The list goes on and on. Offices in Burley and Rupert work with the best. Phillips Oaks Goodwin Crane and Company. And right now, here's Scotty with the weather.
Well, good morning. With your Zeb at the Ranch weather forecast, I'm Scotty Cameron. For today, we're going to have a chance of thunderstorms, highs around 84. Now, that chance of thunderstorms is going to put us in a red flag warning, so keep your eye out for fires. If you see a puff of smoke, let the authorities know. For tonight, chance of thunderstorms, lows around 54. Then for tomorrow, clouds will be clearing off, looking for sunshine and a high of 86. Maybe a small chance of thunderstorms coming in Friday night with a low of 54. Sunny for Saturday, a high of 86. Sunday, sunny, a high of 78. Going to be just a bit cooler. And then as we get back to work on Monday, sunshine and a high of 80. That's your Zeb at the Ranch weather forecast. I'm Scotty Cameron. Have a great day.
Scotty, thank you. And the weather brought to you by Phillips Oaks Goodwin Crane and Company. Wonderful people, professional people serving you at 1710 Overland and Burley and 625th Street in Rupert. Phillips Oaks Goodwin Crane and Company. Rita, we are at, I think, more of a tipping point today than at any other time in our history, where the Second Amendment and our right to protect ourselves is really hanging in the balance. And I think, like I mentioned a little bit ago, evil people with evil, destructive ways against our Constitution and our lifestyle are out there to try to change our rights. What are your thoughts?
No, that's absolutely right. In fact, I had grabbed a few things and looked up some information about guns and gun rights before I called you, because I wanted to talk about that as well. We're in a really precarious situation here, because President Trump, while he is we support the Constitution and we want that to happen, he's thinking, maybe there are some things that need to be done that will curb some of this, and so he kind of is like, well, I'm going to kind of see if there isn't something, and I agree we need to do this and that and the other. Well, the one thing that all of us need to be reminded of is we've got laws on the books, and if those laws are enforced, that's all that we need. But we also need to make sure that we don't let people get away with it, and so we need to contact our president and our senators and our Congress and tell them, don't tamper with our Second Amendment rights. You can't do it. We don't want that. You've got to understand that this is our only thing that we can really value out of the Constitution, because if it's gone, the rest of the Constitution's gone. And unless they get a barrage of calls and people signing onto their website saying, I'm totally opposed to that, you let the president know they can go through and start doing things. And sometimes, and I love President Trump. I think he's done an excellent job. But sometimes I think he's a little too much center to where he can be pulled to one side or the other. And so if we let them know, hey, wait a minute, we elected you because you said you were going to help us keep our Constitution, and that you understood that the Second Amendment rights were really important to us, we've got to let them know that so that he knows not to get on board with some of them. And a lot of them are Republicans, and that's the part that's really scary is the majority of Congress and Senate are willing to make these laws because the loud voices are screaming and hollering, you've got to make laws. Well, there's already laws, but we can't let our Constitution be infringed upon with that.
Let me say this, and I don't know if you're going to concur with me or not, but the shootings in Dayton and El Paso, absolutely, there's no question, horrendous, and my heart goes out to these people, and yes, my prayers go out to those people. But does anybody really sit there every week in the media and ever highlight all the homicides, the destruction, and the family loss in Chicago that takes place every dadgum day of the week? Nobody says a word about that.
Well, they don't, and that's why, is because it doesn't fit their agenda. The other thing that's really sad is the Walmart is a no-gun zone, and that guy knew it. Now, the guy in Dayton, they had police responding within 1 minute, and those police went after him, and he was down, and that's why there weren't near as many injured or killed, because they came right after it. But you get into a no-gun zone, and boy, everybody is just absolutely helpless as far as protecting themselves.
We have a caller, and I'm only going to allow the caller a 1 minute because I'm just about out of time. Go ahead quickly, caller. You're on the air.
Yes, bring up the point from the very first family on this earth. Cain killed Abel. He wasn't with a gun. But my point on that is people are going to kill people, and it's sad but true, but it's the adversary and it's the lack of Christ in our nation anymore that's kind of helping this along. I'll let you go.
Amen. Rita, respond, please.
No, he's absolutely right, and I heard a couple of guys talking about that, saying, you know what, we could start making a list of how people are killed without listing guns, any one of them, and I'll bet you we could come up with 100 ways to kill people really fast, and guns wouldn't be on.
Well, and look what happened just yesterday in Garden Grove, California, for heaven's sakes. 4 people were absolutely just twisted and torn apart with a heinous killer with a machete. So don't tell me the guns are the answer to take away from anyone killing someone.
Well, they're not, but that's the part that everybody wants to take away from us, is they want to make sure that we don't have the right for that. And there's one quote that I want to share with you. It says, the most foolish mistake we could possibly make would be to allow subject races to possess arms. History shows that all conquerors who have allowed their subject races to carry arms have prepared their own downfall by doing so. Adolf Hitler.
One thing I'm going to end on the program, and whether you like him or not, he's been an icon, and I felt kind of bad because I've worked about maybe half a dozen or so rodeos across the country with Willie Nelson. Willie, do you know how old Willie Nelson is, Rita?
Well, I know he's older than me, so he must be older than dirt.
Well, take a guess if you would, because I was surprised also. Willie is 86, soon to be 87, and unfortunately he's got some health problems that all of a sudden have crept up on him with some breathing problems, and he's had to cancel a lot of his tour dates. But, you know, whether you like the guy or you don't like the guy, he has been there for a long time as one of America's iconic singers and still going. So I want to wish him the best this morning.
I would wish him the best as well. You hate to see anybody go downhill.
Absolutely. Rita, again, you have done a wonderful job, and we always appreciate Thursdays, you being on the program. I wish you the very, very best, and we'll talk to you next Thursday.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Rita Ramsey, and she is always welcome on this program. Does a great job, too. Oh, you know, I got to tell you that I'm on a self-imposed diet. I have been since the first of the year. And sometimes you wonder if it's working or not, but oh my goodness, there's this time of the morning. You sit there and you start to get really hungry and you start starving to death. And I know some great places you can go if you are hungry and starving to death. How about the AC Drive-In at 601 East Main in Burley? Oh, they've got all the shakes and the different... I'd kill for a shake right now. That sounds so good. Shakes of all different flavors and all the different burgers like the famous Farmer Brown burger. And they've got delicious French fries and that special sauce. You better get on in to the AC Drive-In, 601 East Main in Burley. Well, how about also Taco Bandito, 2301 Overland in Burley. One of the great places to get together with your friends for morning coffee and a breakfast burrito. Oh, you know what's in a breakfast burrito? Scrambled eggs, bacon and sausage, cheese, onions, tomatoes, sauce on a tortilla shell. Knock your boots off. Tremendous. Great menu. Super nice people at Taco Bandito, 2301 Overland in Burley. Well, let's move over to Burgers Etc. Two locations for Burgers Etc. 124 South Oneida in Rupert and 700 Overland in Burley. And they've got the strawberry shakes. And they've got corn dogs and burritos. Only $1.39 after 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Whoa! Nice people, too. And all kinds of different delicious menu choices at Burgers Etc. in Rupert and Burley. Now, last but not least, I'm drooling. Steve-O's at 290 South, 600 west of Heyburn. Food made the way you love it. And during the warm weekends, the patio's open, and they've got music, and you can enjoy a delicious buffalo burger or a cheesy broccoli spud without the R, spud. And don't forget, too, they got all kinds of cupcakes and different flavors. Oh, it's good eating at Steve-O's. 290 South, 600 west of Heyburn. Food made the way you love it. And those are just a few great places to go if you're hungry and starving to death. And I am. Want to remind you, too, quickly about Patterson's. Patterson's at 421 Main in Burley. Hello, Curtis. Hello, Lorena. You know, when I say they have all your electronic needs and they're your electronic headquarters, it's true. It's true. They're having a closeout on power cords, and they've got the monster cables at 50% off, and they've got televisions, Samsung, Sony, Toshiba, LG TVs. And don't forget, too, they've got video surveillance cameras, home theater systems. Woo! It's all there. These are really nice people. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 6, and that, of course, is Patterson's at 421 East Main in Burley. Stop in, give them a call, 678-6997. We're going to take a little break. Be back in a couple of minutes. More Zeb at the Ranch. Oh my, good morning, hour number 3. I gotta tell you, I'm still choking here a little bit. Allergies at this time of the year, I know a lot of people are suffering from them, including myself, and I was coughing a minute ago, and at the same time trying to take a drink of water. I'll let you picture in your mind what happened. Anyway, good morning and welcome back to hour number 3. Zeb at the Ranch, brought to you by our friends at your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. All 7 locations, providing you with the best and safest of tires. You stop in and see them today. Along with our friends, advertisers, Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley, helping you get back to being you. And Greystone Crossing Independent Senior Living at 1221 21st Street in Heyburn. Seniors living the good life with friends. Wow. Anyway, speaking of that, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about Greystone Crossing. Homemade meals, housekeeping are provided for the folks at Greystone Crossing Independent Senior Living. And if you have an appointment, you got to go to your doctor, you got to go to the pharmacy, whatever, they will take you there. Absolutely. It's just a great, big, happy family at Greystone Crossing Independent Senior Living on Al Fresco Road. That's 20 21st Street, just a mile east of Walmart. Now, here's what I want you to do, seniors. I want you to write this number down and call Kelly or Matt Wiggins and make an appointment to check out the wonderful, beautiful facilities. 650-4979. That number again, 650-4979. You call these wonderful people, Matt and Kelly Wiggins, and they will help you at Greystone Crossing Independent Senior Living. You call them today. Well, now it's time for Cassia County School Days. And with us this morning on Cassia County School Days, and I loved her note that she sent me prior to the program. It came in early this morning. I don't know what the subject's going to be, but I'm counting on inspiration. Let's see if she has the inspiration. The Cassia County School Communications Officer and the President of the Idaho State Board of Education, Debbie Critchfield.
Good morning. I guess inspiration is subjective. So I'll throw some things out, and we've always got lots going on, particularly with registration happening yesterday and today.
Okay, well, tell us a little bit more about what's in Debbie's world.
The one item that we are trying to communicate with parents prior to the start of school is a change in our breakfast program. And I'm going to use a little courage, because I know when we talk about the federal government on the program that, there's a variety of reactions to that. And I don't know how many people know that the school lunch program, breakfast and lunch program, are administered through the U.S. Department of Ag, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
And so it is not a district program that is administered through our central office, but it is a federal program that has federal monies attached that comes to our food and nutrition director, and she works through that program. And in the past, I think it's been more than 10 years now, we have, because of the economic situation of our county, been able to offer free breakfast to every student in the district, regardless of filling out any type of free and reduced paperwork. There's a formula that they use that takes in economic factors, which, to simplify it, the more your economy grows and the wealthier your county gets, the less support you get from the federal government. And because of a growing economy here in Cassia, when they did our calculation, they said, you're doing better, which means you are not now eligible to provide free breakfast for every kid, regardless of whether or not they fill out the paperwork. And so that's a fairly significant change. We are encouraging parents to fill out the free and reduced forms. Breakfast can be free if you qualify through the program. Otherwise, it's $1.75 per student, and then the reduced cost is 30 cents. So we just want to make sure that parents are aware when they send their child to school on the first day about the changes.
Okay, I guess I'm going to have to bite my lip a little bit, but I think you and I are good enough friends that I can say this, and then you, in a very professional manner, will either agree or disagree with me. I'm not opposed at all in providing school breakfasts or school lunches or after school, whatever. But to the point, and please understand where I'm coming from, but to the point where parents are taken out of their responsibility mode for taking care of their children, that is where I get a little offended.
And I don't disagree with that. And the program is intended to add support to our most low-income and vulnerable children who don't have some of these supports built in at home. And because our community had a large majority of families and individuals who, that either their wage or just the economics of our county, the federal government said, according to our calculation, we can provide this for everyone because you have a majority of students that fall into these categories. And the more that we've grown and the more that wages have increased, then they look at that and say, according to our formula, we now believe that more people can be providing for themselves. And that is ultimately what we want people to do. And I think people like to be independent and want to be able to provide for their families. And so for those individuals who find themselves in a situation where maybe that didn't describe you, what I just explained, there's still a way for you to qualify for additional help. For others that are outside of that, we do encourage parents to start their children off with a healthy breakfast in the morning. That's fuel for the body and for the mind.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Now, is there any other area or nook and cranny that you want to discuss about these school breakfasts before we move on to another subject?
I will say that over the years, and you and I have talked about this before because you've had listeners that have called in and talked to you about the quality of the food. I will tell you that with the change in administration over the past few years, that there has been a loosening of the requirements on what kinds of food as far as the nutritional value. The salt content was almost not even present in food, and we all know that salt in great levels can be dangerous, but one of the complaints we had was the quality of the taste of the food and perhaps not having enough food, and over the last few years there has been a relaxing of that, and now we're able to bring in other contracted places for pizza and try to complement. We want to be healthy and nutritious, and we provide salad bars and so forth, but also recognizing that taste is an important part of the school day for kids.
The Obama administration, I won't put you on the spot to say this, but I will. The Obama administration, especially with Michelle Obama, did more to, I think, discourage a good, healthy school lunch program across the board from sea to shining sea. And I think now with the relaxations, I've talked to parents. I have talked to kids in school and said, oh my, it's a lot better than it was a couple years ago.
I agree with that. I think the intent, I'm gonna choose to believe that the intent was we want to have kids be healthy. I think we all agree that that's a good thing. But what we saw was it swung so far to one side as far as the requirements that our lunch ladies and those that were making the menus, I mean, they were pretty hard pressed to come up with a variety that appealed to most students. And now you see you're going to see more tasteful choices, and I think we've seen more families choose school lunch.
I'm going to jump in, and I'll be an inspirational thought for you right now. You are the Cassia County Schools Communications Officer, but now, of course, new state education board president. How in the world are you going to handle all these different hats that you have to wear?
That somehow it all works out. I'm fortunate to work in a school district that my schedule was pretty flexible. Something that most people don't know about my job is that I was hired as a part-time person. And as you know, there's really no such thing as part-time. It's a full-time part-time. But within that part-time, the board and superintendent have allowed some flexibility in as much as, I'm getting stuff done that they expect me to do, that there's some flexibility there. And as far as my state requirements, here's something else that most people don't know. That is a free, unpaid position. I have a passion for education and have a spouse that is willing to indulge me in that and support me in that. As it doesn't make us any money, and it takes time away from other things that we would like to do. But somehow we're able to coordinate our schedules and lives with other people being generous towards me so that I can do those.
And Debbie, I've said this so many times on the program, and I'm not saying it because you're on the other end of this microphone line. I'm not saying it because of anything else. I think the status of Idaho education is much, much better than some of the slanderous remarks that are made by various people on the left. I'm proud of my son and my daughter's education. I'm proud of what they grew up and achieved, and I'm not going to be one that's ever going to denigrate what goes on here in Idaho.
I appreciate that, and I feel that as a state that we are coming around to that. There's less messaging from outside sources, out-of-state sources, and in-state sources that want Idahoans to believe that we have critically wrong decisions about how we're pursuing education, and that simply isn't the fact. One of the things that I'm very excited about, and this pertains to CASA as well, but statewide, and you and I have talked about how important it is to provide the right options and pathways for all of our students, and that doesn't just mean an academic path to a university. Career technical skills and education are a vital part of our economy and about the success of any student in our state.
You know, I could not agree more, and you said it so very eloquently as far as now, unfortunately, it's taken quite a bit of time for people to realize that you can't just push these kids today that are graduating seniors into a college lifestyle when they don't want to go to school. And then they complain about having to spend the money and then the college debt and everything. Many of them would like to go to school to become electricians. Many of them would like to go on maybe in farming, or many of them would like to become plumbers. Oh my goodness, the money they can make. I mean, there are job availabilities and opportunities out there more so today than ever before.
Absolutely. Our workforce needs are immense here in Idaho, and we know that gap of skilled and trained workers is increasing every day. I heard that this is kind of a staggering statistic that was given to me while I was in Boise 2 weeks ago. 47 people move to Idaho every day.
Wow.
We need to make sure that as we're growing our state, that we're growing our workforce, and that our students, and this is not just students, but it's adults who maybe feel that they're underemployed, that they have the ability to access without barriers, without going into huge amounts of debt, to add to their skill set. What's the certification I need? What is more training? Is it just 1 year? Can I do it locally? Can I do it online? How do I do that so that I can have that career and that lifestyle for my family that I want to choose?
You know, I just sat here and quickly did some quick figures. You said 47 people move here every day. Now, according to my calculator, that comes out to 17,155 households that are going to need plumbers.
Exactly. We're the fastest growing state in the United States.
Wow.
And we are the fastest growing economy in the United States. And, I mean, this is a whole other program for you as far as, you know, the influx of people. They're seeing Idaho as being very attractive in many ways. And we need education to keep pace with the labor needs of our state so that it's a mutually beneficial situation. And we hear on the state level and here locally that we can't find workers that are trained. And we also, you know, on the soft skill side, we hear complaints of we need people who will come to work more than 3 days and that can pass a drug test. And so how does education help satisfy those things, and how do we work together with industry so that as we look at the future of our state, we're where we want to be?
You know what? You might not have had a subject this morning, but your inspiration came into effect, and we had a good segment. Debbie Critchfield, God bless you, and thanks for being on Cassia County School Days.
Thank you. We look forward to a great year, August 21st. Come with a positive attitude, and our teachers are ready to get busy with kids.
Oh, I love it. Thank you very much, Debbie, and you take care of yourself. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wonderful lady, and along with being the Cassia County School Communications Officer, also the president of the Idaho State Board of Education, Debbie Critchfield, and she has been really a nice person to work with. Got to tell you what's going on at the Cassia County Fair. Oh my! First of all, let's give some of the businesses a great big howdy, and they include Kelly's Bearings at 1407 East Main in Burley. Oh my goodness sakes, they've got everything, all the bearings and the chains and the brackets, and I'll tell you what, great folks, Zach and Brett, they're serving you at Kelly's Bearings, 1407 East Main in Burley. And Magic Valley Irrigation at 44 East 500 south of Burley. Hello, Jeff and the crew at Magic Valley Irrigation. And I'll tell you what, they've been offering irrigation system service and repair since way back in 1978. They are the best. Magic Valley Irrigation serving you. And last but not least, Mountain Transmissions at 1146 East Main in Burley. Hello, Rick. And if you've got transmission trouble, oh my, you put it in drive and you're not doing anything. You better call Mountain Transmissions at 678-9110. Free towing, free diagnostic, and free estimates. Mountain Transmissions. And don't forget, we have been telling you all about this. You better make plans on getting a hold of the Cassia County Fair office. And, of course, go to their website, CassiaCountyFair.com. The big concert coming up this Saturday night to kick off the Cassia County Fair and Rodeo. Tracy Bird concert. I've worked with this guy. He is good. Sponsored by Goody Motors, and also it's going to be in the Idaho Central Credit Union Arena. That's on Saturday. And then on Sunday, the next day, oh boy, look out, Monster Truck Insanity. This is going to be great right there at the Cassia County Fair. All of this and a lot more next week at your Cassia County Fair and Rodeo for 2019. Oh my, let's go to the phone line right now. And here he is, the one, the only. Hello, Jeff at Lee's Furniture, Floors, and More. Yeah. Is he there?
Yes, I'm here.
Ah, there he is. He wears tennis shoes so he can run to the telephone. Good morning, Jeff. How's everything going?
Doing good, and I am wearing my tennis shoes today. Yes, I am.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, you're going to be hard-pressed to keep up with that boy of yours. He's like a water bug. Zip, zip, zip. He's all over the place.
Oh, yeah, he's like chasing a kangaroo in a trampoline factory.
I'll tell you, I'm going to remember that when I watch him play football this fall. Oh, my goodness sakes. Hey, tell me what's going on over at Lee's Furniture, Floors, and More. And the reason I ask is I would imagine that you're going to tell everybody this is a great time for the beautification and the comfortization of their home for fall.
Well, I'm gonna go on a hunch and say that you are a mind reader.
Okay.
And let me share with you why, and that is because we do have our floor carving on sale. And there's a couple of things in particular that I'd like to share with your listeners that may be of great interest. One is, this time of year, we bring in a number of specials that we carry in stock in carpet and also in the hard surface. And when I mean a hard surface, I mean like this luxury vinyl plank that you're hearing so much about, and also vinyl flooring, and also engineered or hardwood floors. Now, so when a person comes into the store, you can take advantage of the special pricing that we have on the material that we carry in stock. And that's advantageous for a couple of reasons. We purchase that in bulk quantities so that you can get discounts, and we purchase the newest and greatest styles that they offer us additional bulk discounts on. So when a customer comes in and purchases that Zeb, the advantage is we have it here in stock. You can see it, feel it, touch it, look at it, and any of the material that you purchase and that you no longer have a need for, what I mean by that is perhaps you've purchased a little extra, you can return it to stock for full credit, or if you're a little bit short, maybe you've underestimated, we carry it in stock, you can come get more. And you don't have to pay freight. You don't have all of the hardship of having to return it, try to get credits and so forth. You've got it here.
I tell you, you make it so easy for people to kind of reevaluate what they want their home to look like for the fall going into the winter, and then also the comfort. I mean, with all the different furniture and the mattresses, everything. You've got it all right there.
Yeah, we really do. You know, on that same light, you know, for a person that wants to beautify their home, this is a great time of year for a couple of reasons. The weather's good. It's cooperative. So if you have to take a few things outside, you know, generally speaking, the weather's nice. It's a little calmer. You know, you get the kids in school. Maybe you have a little extra time. But you can come in and buy some of this product for the weekend and do some of these projects and have them finished. I myself, just this week after work, I've been redoing a bathroom, myself and also one of my entrances, and it's been really nice. It's really simple, and anyway, again, I'm around it, but I can tell you right now, I'm not an installer, but some of these floors are so easy that you really can do it yourself.
What if somebody is just standing there and they look at their living room and they're going, "Ooh, we've got some ugly chairs."
When we first look at it, we think, oh my goodness, okay, one, I've got to remove the furniture. Two, I've got to tear this out. How do I do that? Where do I start? How do I do the measurements? It's just overwhelming. Well, let me tell you, it's a simple process. So what you do is you take a look at your room, and you know what? All you've got to do is estimate. Just say, maybe it's 20 by 30. It doesn't really matter. And even if you don't want to do that, just take a picture of the room.
Okay.
Come into the store and just show us the picture so that we can see it. So we have designers here. We have staff that is very knowledgeable with floor covering. You bring those measurements in, and we can give you an estimate. And if you don't have it, we do free estimates. And oftentimes we can do that within 24 hours. We do same-day measurements, Zeb. So let's say that your wife comes in, okay? And she says, where do I start? All right, the first thing we do is we show her what we have in stock, and we show her what we can order in. So at least we have an idea what she likes. Then we go to the house at no charge. We measure it. We figure on an estimate exactly what it's going to cost as far as the materials, how much you need, what's it going to do what's it going to cost to have it installed, and can we help with that, the removal of the furniture and the installation? Yes, we do all of that, so you don't have to touch a thing, Zeb.
Wow,
it's so easy, and again, we guarantee in writing the lowest price, so you don't have to go to 100 places and say, "Gosh, is this better? Is that better?" No, you can come to Lee's and know you're going to get the best price, the best service, the best quality, and it's in writing.
This guy's good, and the whole outfit is really good for you, Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner, because they have everything for, like I said, the comfortization and the beautification of your home at Lee's Furniture, Floors, and more. What are the hours that you're open, Jeff?
Great question. On weekdays, we're here from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and on Saturday, we're here from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Okay.
We're located at the first stoplight south of the bridge in Burley.
Absolutely. 459 Overland in Burley, to be exact. And my friend Jeff, I got to write that down. A kangaroo in a trampoline factory. I've got it. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. And Zeb, I look forward to seeing you at some of the football games coming up. That's going to be a lot of fun. But I just love football, so I love to hear all the schools and hear them do so well. There's so many great athletes in the area.
Absolutely. Jeff, take care of yourself, old buddy. We appreciate you being on the program.
Thank you, Zeb. Take care.
Thank you. Jeff over at Lee's Furniture, Floors, and more. Really, really good people. Oh, my. I think we're going to send this quickly over to our main studios. I'll be right back.
And now, back to Zeb at the Ranch on AM 1230 KBAR. To reach Zeb, call 436-2244 or toll free 1-866-927-4587. And now, here is Zeb Bell.
Oh, my. Thank you. We're into our last half hour this morning, and I'm very happy to have this man come back on our program. And he's got a book called Your Faith Has Made You Well, a radical new way to create peace and hope. We say good morning to Dr. Bruce Hartman. Sir, how are you?
I'm still getting them on, sir.
Well, hurry, please. And Dr. Hartman, are you there? I don't know what the delay is, but perhaps he wasn't by that telephone when we called. I don't know what the reasons are, but we'll certainly get him on soon. Want to remind you, too, that next Monday on the program, don't forget, we're going to have some excellent people, including Richard Manning coming back on to talk about all the mess that's going on with the Democrats and the bigotry and the white supremacy. So we're going to have Richard on at 9:06. Wheels, do we have him on and ready to go?
Yes, sir, we do.
All right, thank you. Dr. Hartman, good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm doing terrific, and thank you for having me on your show again. Really appreciate it.
Well, we were really worried there for a minute. We couldn't seem to make the connection, but we have you now, and hopefully we won't let you go. You've got a book out called Your Faith Has Made You Well, a radical new way to create peace and hope. Tell me all about it because it excites me to hear about it.
Well, one of the things that when I was getting my doctorate degree, I noticed a number of times in the gospel that Jesus said, your faith has made you well. So I started really thinking about it. And and then as I started reading the stories, what I saw was, like, for instance, the woman who was bleeding for 12 years. You think about what she did then. You know, she forced her way through a crowd, which in itself is an amazing story, because Jesus in those days would be like if Elvis walked down the street here in the modern day.
Right.
Walks through this crowd, walks up to Jesus, touches his cloak, because she felt that she had enough faith that if she touched his cloak, she'd be healed. And what did Jesus say to her? He said to her, "Arise, my daughter, your faith has made you well." So I started studying a lot of that, and then a lot of those instances, and started to tie it together. And then I started interviewing people for the book. So the book contains stories, faith stories, of well over 24 people that can relate to this message. And really what it is that many times I think that we treat God and Jesus as a genie. In other words, we ask and hope to receive. This book is different. It says that we must work in concert with God, that we must be mutual with God. Not that God is our equal or inferior to us, but like a good friend, you shouldn't just call on God when you need him. You should call on God all the time. And that's how you build a faith life. And so when you are in trouble, or you do have a decision to make, you have a personal relationship with God, and ultimately you know which way to turn on every road you hit.
You know, Dr. Hartman, my grandmother, who passed away years and years ago, but she was such a wise lady. She said in regards to faith and prayer, she says, when you need God, ask him. When you don't need God, thank him.
Yes, amen. That's perfect.
You know, talking about your book and putting it into today, I mean, we are looking at, and I've said this many times already this week, Dr. Hartman, and I'm not going to back up from what I said, that we are looking at evil. We are looking at more evil in our society. We're looking at more person against person. We're looking at people denigrating other people and their personalities and what they do. I've never in my 71 years ever seen this country this divided and on this kind of a brink of disaster.
Well, I think you're 100% right. I mean, it is, if you look at it, particularly from the name calling and the vicious attacks that everybody's making against people that disagree with them. I don't think of any time, and this includes the 60s and the 70s, that I've ever seen this. And so the two thoughts I have about this is, when we are offended by somebody that disagrees with us, or we offend somebody that we disagree with, what we've done is we've stopped communication. And the only way you learn in life is not by what you know, but by what other people can teach you. And that's really what's getting short-circuited here. And I think about some of the great politicians of the past, and I think about in my own life. I always learned a lot by people teaching me and explaining to me, and sometimes it worked the other way as well. So that is missing, and it's a very difficult thing, because what we're doing is we're creating tribes. And America has become a country with tribes. And the majority of people feel just like you do, Zed. And it's the term for it is an exhausted majority, tired of this. And I think more people feel your way, but we have these people on TV. They're always working against each other. And I believe money is at the root of this evil.
I said earlier this morning in my opening remarks.
Loud and rancorous.
Right.
And I don't think that some of the stuff that people say they really mean, but they need to get speaking engagements. They need to get famous. That's why they're doing it.
Absolutely. Wheels over at the station when Dr. Hartman's speaking. Turn him up just a little bit in my headsets, please, if you would. Dr. Hartman, I said this earlier this morning. I made a statement, and I'll paraphrase it again for you, that all of us need to get back to the basics of church, family, and understanding right and wrong. I feel that the reason we're in trouble in this country is because we were stronger in the past. We had better values in the past. Our families were stronger and a bigger influence on us in the past. And we had much better morality in the past. Do you agree with that?
Oh, certainly I agree with that. And, you look at the decline in church attendance, that speaks volumes about why people have lost their character. And I think that's what I would refer to it as. Do you say something outlandish just to get notoriety? Now, in previous generations, people would have enough character not to do something like that. And the second thing is family. The closest of family, relying on each other. And not just family, but extended family. I think that has died off. And I think that what you've said is really accurate in terms of where we are as a country. And it may sound old-fashioned, but it works, and it worked for centuries.
There are people today that thrive on having, on having these altercations in the press and treating people in a lesser fashion, calling them a racist, calling them a hate monger, calling them a bigot, because quite frankly, they make their money by stirring up of strife in our society. But is there a way that you can see how our nation can heal itself after these tragedies that we've had, and also with the strong political influence that's going on right now?
Yeah, I do. I think it gets back to what I was talking about earlier. Is I think when somebody explains a position to us, is to be careful that we don't get offended, particularly if we disagree. Because when you disagree with somebody, you really have three choices. You can offend them back, which you know that's just a dead end street. 2, you can learn something, or 3, you can keep something. And only in 2 and 3 are the only ways really out of it. And I think if we go back to the simple message that Christ taught us, to love our neighbor, and we approach disagreement with love in our hearts, that is the way to solve this problem. But first, we have to have maturity enough not to get offended when we hear something we disagree with, and also to try not to offend.
Dr. Hartman, I've probably made some enemies on my program since the first of the year, but so be it. I'm going to be always open and honest and forthright on various subjects. I have criticized the clergy in general for not using the pulpit to help bring the community together and also restore a lot of the belief in the biblical principles that are being ignored. Would you agree or not agree with that?
I would completely agree. I think that taking difficult stances, I think a lot of clergy, and I'll explain why, I think a lot of clergy have taken a back seat and don't want to create controversy. And the reason is we've allowed the people in the pews to dictate the message that the minister or the priest delivers on Sunday. And if you go back 20 or 30 or 40 years, that just wasn't the case. So I think our ministers and the priests that do deliver our messages on Sunday need to toughen up and not be so afraid or fearful of what their congregation's going to say, because they have an obligation and a duty, which is to talk about the truth in a loving way, but also in a way that resonates, even if it is hard-hitting.
I've got to tell you, of all the ministers and all the clergy in this area, one man, one minister had the spine to stand up and agree with me, come on my program. And to me, that's almost shameful of the clergy, because I believe that they have a position in our community to talk about the ills, to talk about the wrongs, and try to use the Bible and its prophecy and its teachings to correct those wrongs. Why will they hide and not come out in the open and be on my program and elsewhere to talk about these things?
they're afraid of upsetting the congregation. It's not that they disagree with you, and it's not that they wouldn't privately speak their mind, but is in some places today, the pulpit is controlled by the pews, where it used to be the pews were controlled by the pulpit.
Do you see, and I'm kind of going over to this again, but after we heard the absolutely low-class statements of demanding that President Trump was a racist, demanding that he's a white supremacist, and just the denigration of people that they don't agree with, how do we calm this situation, get people to sit down, maybe with the Bible in between them? I don't know, but we've got to start to salve or put some salve on this wound, because if we don't soon, I see this country as never being able to heal itself.
Well, we can continue to pray that I do believe, and I read I just went through a poll recently, and it's called More in Common, did a poll. 68 to 75% of Americans feel exactly like you do. They're tired of the noise. They're tired of the throwing darts at each other. They're tired of the inaction. And I think in this next election, and you saw a little bit out of it in the 2018 election, but out of this next election, you're going to see a very different group going into Congress as senators and as representatives. I think a very different group. And I do believe Americans are fed up, and it's probably at its zenith right now.
Absolutely. Do you think that with the diminishing numbers of church attendance and church memberships that we can also change that? I go back to the days, and I think you and I have talked about this in the past, where I kind of remember like the old Saturday Evening Post covers of showing mom and dad and little Johnny and Susie walking to church together and then going home and having dinner together. Are those days gone forever?
Yeah, I think they are, and there's only one way to change it, is what you just said before, is I don't think the people going into the pews have enough respect for our ministers because they're too easily pushed around. That's number one. Number two, there's a lot of distractions in our society. And a lot of people, and I'm going to give you an amazing statistic in a second, but a lot of people are getting their Christianity and their messages from other sources besides church. They're getting it off of social media, podcasts, books, YouTube. And here's a statistic for you. As many people believe in God today as did 50 years ago. So while church attendance is done, the compelling force of God isn't any different.
Wow. Well, that makes me feel a little bit better, because there seems to be, and I'll just kind of wrap up our conversation by throwing one more item at you, the demonization of church and family values and God seems to be growing like a cancer in this country.
It is. And it's because we as clergy are not standing up to what the issues are. We're not standing behind God. We're not having faith in God. We may say we believe in God, but we don't believe God, and that's what's got to change. I will tell you one thing that will make you feel better too, that by the year 2050, there are currently 2 billion Christians on our earth. There will be 3 billion Christians
Wow.
by 2050. So God is not dead, nor is Christianity.
Absolutely. Now, please tell us, your book, Your Faith Has Made You Well, A Radical New Way to Create Peace and Hope. Where can they find your book?
Well, it's in pre-sale now. It's being released for sale on September 3rd, and you can buy it on Amazon. That's probably the easiest place to do it. You can also buy it on my website, which is www.brucelhartman.com. But Amazon's probably the easiest way to get at it, and you can download it and be able to read it on September 3rd as an ebook.
I want to tell you how much I value you coming on this program. I certainly hope you'll consent to come back in the future. Dr. Bruce Hartman, thank you very much for being on my program.
Yeah, thank you, Zeb, and have a wonderful day. Bless you.
Thank you, sir. Very, very nice man, and I've got to get a copy of that book, and he kind of lays it out to almost what we've been saying for the last 6-7 months. The clergy, ministers, and if you're listening out there, you have a responsibility not to the congregation, but to God first. Somebody might not like your sermon, but that's a human being. Your responsibility is to the Bible and God. Preach it that way. Time for the weather, and the weather brought to you by Scarro's Meats, 331 North Road, Jerome. Hello, Don Scarro and the crew. Oh, boy. They have the most delicious of meats, and you can check them all out at scarrosmeats.com. Give them a call, please. 324-7657. Whether you're having a great big family picnic or whether you're having a company party or get-together, all the pork ribs and the tri-tips and the bratwurst. Oh, it's so good. You're going to love it. All the meats from Scarro's Meats in Jerome, 324-7657. Right now, here's Scotty with the weather.
Good morning with your Zeb at the Ranch weather forecast. I'm Scotty Cameron. For today, we're going to have a chance of thunderstorms, highs around 84. Now, that chance of thunderstorms is going to put us in a red flag warning, so keep your eye out for fires. If you see a puff of smoke, let the authorities know. For tonight, chance of thunderstorms, lows around 54. Then for tomorrow, clouds will be clearing off, looking for sunshine and a high of 86. Maybe a small chance of thunderstorms coming in Friday night with a low of 54. Sunny for Saturday, a high of 86. Sunday, sunny, a high of 78. Going to be just a bit cooler. And then as we get back to work on Monday, sunshine and a high of 80. That's your Zeb at the Ranch weather forecast. I'm Scotty Cameron. Have a great day.
Scotty, thank you. Filling in for Gina and doing a very, very nice job. Thank you very much. Scarro's Meats, our sponsor at 331 North Road, Jerome. The number to call, 324-7657. You know, with all the delicious meats and everything available there for you and your family and your gatherings, please don't put it off. They are changing the way we eat one delicious bite at a time at Scarro's Meats. Made me hungrier than I normally am right now at this time in the morning. I want to say thank you. Thank you very much to all of you folks out in the audience. I notice that every day we have new callers, new concepts, new ideas, new sharing of ideas. Thank you very much for being a part of the program. Without you as the callers and talking about various issues, I might as well just fold up my tent and I'll go out and sit in the horse barn and I'll fix some saddles or bridles or whatever. But I thank you. You are an outstanding audience, and I certainly appreciate all your involvement. And next week, man, we have got some great guests coming on the program. And I just absolutely want to say thank you to Dan Kish and Richard Manning and Dave Bego and many of our stalwarts that are always there talking about the various issues and conditions. And we've got Gregory Wrightstone coming on the program next week, Lieutenant Governor Jennifer Carroll from, I believe, the state of Virginia, but I'm going to check that out, and the Pacific Legal Foundation. Oh, my goodness, a lot of heavy hitters. Don't forget our Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. Oh, boy, they are the best at what they do. I mean, 7 locations here in the Magic Valley with the best of tires for you, and some of which you can get an instant rebate on. Better check it out today. And don't forget this, that if you're going on a trip, don't forget they provide a free pre-trip safety check on your car and your vehicle, where they'll check the air pressure in your tires, wheel alignment for tire wear, front-end components, shocks and struts, battery with a load test, brake components. They want you to leave here, have fun, turn around, come home, and be safe. Absolutely. So stop in and see the best that's working for you. Your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, Lane and Rupert, Dave on Blue Lakes and Twin, Mike and Buell, Mike and Jerome, the Twist family in Paul, Daniel on Poline in Twin Falls, and Trent on Overland in Burley. Yes, sir, the best. Your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. We're not going to weaken on any topics. on this program. I'm going to keep hammering and yammering about Idaho Power and their lack of response to treating you fairly with answering of questions that need to be answered. We're not going to weaken on anything else on this program. We are committed to serving you. As I always say at the end of the show, the way things were are the way things ought to be. And, of course, the world needs more cowboys. But we always end our program. We started this about 2 months ago, and we should have done it a long time ago, with 4 words that mean a lot to me. In God we trust. I will be back next Monday at 8:06. Zeb at the Ranch, you have a great weekend.